Welcome to another episode of Addicted to the Cube. I'm Brad with Meets My Mistress. We have Brian with Sofa King Awesome Barbecue. Bum's getting ready to go back to work tomorrow. And our guest tonight is Joe Cumberland, the executive chef of Bulldog BBQ. How are you doing today?
Man, I am doing good. We are just wrapping up kids' movie night here at the church, so it's been a good Sunday. We had VBS this week, so they're all excited, winding down, and all of us grown-ups are tired and ready for a good night's sleep.
I bet. VBS is a long week.
Yeah, we had a good one this year. It was glow in the dark, so they had a lot of fun. We've all had a lot of fun, and just ready to wrap it up and get a little rest next week.
Yep. So you run Bulldog BBQ, your brand. Do you have rubs or sauces or anything?
I did. I stopped those a couple of years ago. The day-to-day executive chef job just got too busy, and it got to where it was a little hectic for me to try to keep up with all that. You know firsthand how it is trying to get stuff shipped and keep track of orders and this, that, and the other. And the regular daytime executive chef job just had to take priority for a little bit.
Yeah. So you, because we met, online, social media stuff. That was a couple years ago. Before, were you doing executive chef then, or were you doing something else?
No, I was. We had Bulldog BBQ going full time then, just doing the barbecue, but I was slowly getting back into the kitchen as an executive chef at that time. But no, when we started at the height of Bulldog BBQ, when we were selling a lot of rubs and sauces, we were doing just that full time.
Nice. Yeah, what got you into all of barbecue in the first place?
Well, I'm sure, I'm 39, and I'm sure a lot of folks that really got into it that are around my age, a lot of it started with Myron Mixon and the TV show. I played college ball, and I had went through a second knee surgery, and I was laid up for about 3 months, and the first season of Pitmasters was on. And I always enjoyed cooking. Like last week's guest, it was never too much really smoking or anything. But we did a lot of fish fries, and my granddaddy, when he was alive, raised hogs. So we would always have a hog killing in the spring and things like that. And we would always cook. But really just being laid up and watching that first season of Pitmasters, number one, it looked fun. But number two, I thought I can do this because it looks super simple on TV.
Yeah.
And just because you're a good cook, as the two of you know, doesn't mean that you can go out and fire up a smoker and turn in Myron Mixon or Tuffy Stone quality barbecue. So one of the questions I get asked a lot is, man, how did you learn to make such good ribs? And my answer is always, I ate bad ribs for a long time because that was the one meat that I wanted to kind of perfect or make my specialty. And I'll never forget, I'm a big New Orleans Saints fan. The year we won the Super Bowl, I cooked ribs, and they were as tough as shoe leather. Man, they tasted phenomenal, but they were tough. So we sat and watched Drew Brees and the Saints win a Super Bowl, and we were still chewing on ribs that we probably started chewing in the first quarter when the final clock sounded. But, yeah, really just watching Myron and those guys, Mo Kason and all them on that first season really piqued my interest because I guess at that time competition barbecue really wasn't too big of a thing in Mississippi. It was here. There was the Loose Caboose Festival in Newton that Myron and all them cooked in, but the average person like me didn't really know too much about it. So the TV show really put it out there, and that's kind of where my interest was piqued and what got me into it and wanting to go. And then also it was a competitive avenue. Once I was hurt and couldn't really play ball anymore, when you're an athlete, you never really stop competing. So here was something new that I didn't have to have a right knee for. So I jumped in it head first.
Do you still compete at all, or do you just stay on the backside of it?
My last competition was with Picking and Grilling the year we got 6th in the world at Memphis in May. So that's been 3 or 4 years. July the 12th, I'll be judging a competition, but no, with stepping back into executive chef, Saturday is one of our busiest days, and certainly most of the time don't have time to take off Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So I've been talking with my staff a lot about maybe getting out and doing a couple more competitions, but it's been quite a while since I've actually been out there in the ringer every weekend.
Yeah. It's still fun. I mean, if you get to do one a year, it's still fun just to get out there.
I think, Scotty Chung with Picking and Grilling, he had talked about possibly doing the Big Pig Jig this year and Galax and maybe a couple others. There's a new one on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, Smoking the Coast. They do it right there on the Gulf Coast, and last year was the first one, and just an awesome setup. That one looks a whole lot of fun. I think he's going to it. So I may go to 4 or 5 with Scotty this year and possibly Memphis in May in 26. We'll see. But I would definitely like to get back out there once, twice, maybe 3 times a year and do it, because I've got a stepson that's 14 and a daughter that's 7. And I'm a youth pastor, and a couple of my teenage boys have really took an interest in especially open fire cooking. So it'd be nice to take them and kind of show them around, because they're a group that I think eventually will get into it themselves. So I'd like to start maybe showing the next generation behind me the ins and outs of it, so that they don't have to go in blind like I did the first 5 or 6 competitions and see just how tough it is. As easy as it looks, just how tough it truly is.
How far down are you in Mississippi?
We're in Philadelphia in Neshoba County, so we're in east central Mississippi. We're really the heart of Mississippi, sort of. We're right smack dab in the middle of the state, but a little bit to the east. We're probably an hour from the Alabama line. And then maybe 3 hours from Tennessee. So we're kind of the heart of the South, the heart of the Bible Belt.
Yeah. You can check with your high school that's out there. They have National High School Barbecue Association now, where your high school could get, some teams together and you can go and mentor them and things like that.
We have talked about that. But when you're in the same town as legend Scotty Chung, you kind of give him first dibs at those things. But he and I have talked about it, and we're hoping Neshoba Central, our local county high school, will at some point show some interest and let us get in there. But Scotty's like me; he's all about bringing up this younger group coming up. So hopefully that's something that we start seeing more of here in central Mississippi, and maybe even southern Mississippi on the coast. 'Cause there's some really good guys down there on the barbecue scene. Marcio and Jeffrey Burt, and of course the Sheds down there that would be really good at doing that as well. So hopefully that's something we start seeing here in Mississippi soon. But so far it has been pretty slow. I know Ashley Henson has a couple up in North Mississippi that's doing it. But maybe it'll get to this area pretty soon.
Yeah. Do you cater? Do you have a barbecue trailer or anything?
Yes, we do. We do quite a bit of catering, and I have tried to keep barbecue out of city limits, our Cajun themed restaurant, but this year, 2025, it seems like every week somebody calling wanting a huge barbecue deal. So Bulldog BBQ has kind of bled into city limits, our regular restaurant. So yeah, actually last Wednesday I had a new smoker delivered. Had it done at Sling and Steel there in Kentucky, and it's a commercial pellet smoker, which when you're on the line lunch and dinner hand cooking things, it's tough to tend to fire. So I wanted to try the pellet deal, and so far it's worked. We'll see how it goes, but it's been a whole lot of fun playing with a massive 1,200-pound pellet cooker, because that's not what you think when you hear the term pellet grill. But it's been a blast so far.
Yeah, they can get pretty big, that's for sure. So I got to ask you, because you have your hand dipped in a lot of different fires. And one thing that I did like and follow you on was through your church and being Christianity, you also turned that over into a couple movie star TV spots. You want to dive into some of those shows that you've been on?
Yeah, so I actually got started in acting in college. I was a physical education major that realized he really didn't like smart-mouthed children, so I changed. Once I got my associate's degree, my bachelor's was in sports broadcasting, and that just had me dealing with being in front of the camera a lot. And there was a drama team at Meridian Community College that asked me to be in a couple of their things, and that's kind of where I learned to love it. And in high school, I was sort of the quiet guy in class. I really didn't, I didn't act out or anything. I guess some would call me a goody two-shoes. But we had a project in 10th grade, Miss Fleming, language arts, and we didn't get to pick our group. We got stuck. And I was in a group with 4 young ladies that pretty much left me nothing to do in the presentation, so I had to wing it. And when I got done winging it, Miss Fleming said, "You're either going to grow up to be a politician or an actor, or a preacher." And she was right on all 3 counts. So it was a little weird years later, but no, I enjoyed it. And then I moved to Nashville for music for a long time, and I think I heard Billy Bob Thornton say one time, "If you're an actor, you want to be a musician, and if you're a musician, you want to be an actor." Yeah. So it was kind of natural for me. And a friend of mine and Scotty Chun's, Denny Dardine, he passed in Indiana. He wrote a movie called Letters Home and invited me and Scotty to make that long trek from Mississippi up to, I guess it was central Illinois, with some old hickories and do some barbecue on the set of that Civil War movie. And it was there in 2020 that I said, man, I really like to get back into acting. So I took a role in a Western called Vernon. Then for about 2 years, stayed pretty busy in the independent stuff. And I've had some parts in some pretty big Christian movies that were waiting to come out. Hopefully they'll be out by the end of the year. One, Losing Hope, Finding Grace, which I played a pretty big role in. I had no idea who the director or writer was when I auditioned for it. And then they picked me, and he and I became friends. And I asked him when I read the script, I said, "Man, how long were you in Nashville?" He said, "I've never been to Nashville." He said, "I just let the Holy Spirit guide me in this script." Because it's about a country singer from Mississippi that moves to Nashville and loses his way and kind of has to find himself. And I said, "Man, the way you wrote that is exactly how it is in real life." Because I was one of those guys that moved up there for music and said, "I'm just going to be that all shucks good old country boy and never lose my way." And it really don't work that way in that town. But he and I actually ended up founding a church together 3 years ago, Sunshine Ministries. And then we went and did another big Christian movie, Sword of the Spirit, that's loosely based on a true story. Director Jay Ashton, something that he went through in his life. Really, really cool movie. Hoping it'll be out this year. But that's the thing with movies. You film them 1 year and everybody starts asking you when they're coming out, and they go through festivals and post-production, and they take so long. Yeah. Now, some of the really bad independent movies that I've been in that I would be embarrassed for people to see, you're on set one day and 2 weeks later they're on Tubi, and they're you really don't tell people about those. Yeah. But I thank God for them, because they really got me comfortable in front of the camera. And as a lead actor, you learn how to carry a movie. So it got me prepared for where I'm at now. And I really don't call it a career because I pick and choose what I want to do because I never wanted to interfere with my ministry.
Yeah.
I never want to play a role where I go preach at a church and somebody comes up and says, "Hey, weren't you that murder rapist in that movie I saw last week?"
Yeah.
So I'm at a point where I get to pick and choose what I do. And this coming up Saturday, I will be in another SAG Hollywood film alongside Dylan Welch and Terry Polo. So I'm excited about that to be in one with some big name A-listers and have a small part in it. But it also goes back to barbecue because people, especially the independent movies, they know who I am or they've heard from another director or another actor. Man, he did smoke bologna on set and it was phenomenal. So I've got one of Mark Lambert's little red box smokers that 9 times out of 10 it's on set with me and there's bologna or something in it. Which is a lot of fun. My IMDb page, I'm pretty sure mentions the fact that, you know, when I'm acting, I also like to show off the smoking chops on set. So it's been a big thing. And I actually think smoked bologna has probably landed me a couple of roles that maybe my acting didn't. They thought, well, there's a better actor, but we can get a smoked bologna sandwich in between takes if we hire him. So yeah, the barbecue's probably got me a spot or two.
I wonder if his ribs are better now.
Oh man, if they had them back in 2008, 2009, it was something. But yeah.
So, do you have an agent for all that?
I did. I was running one. I was with Memphis Rose Talent for quite some time, and kind of like the Bulldog BBQ line of rubs. The executive chef thing just got so busy. I was turning down more than I was willing to be in. So I'm kind of doing it without an agent now. Britton Webb, who is a phenomenal actor in his own right and stays super busy. He kind of coached me on some stuff a couple of months ago. And really, he's the reason I landed the Academy Sports commercial. His advice and things with self-tape auditions really landed me that role. So he's not an agent, but I'm relying heavily on Britton Webb, an actor based right down the road in Brandon, Mississippi. But right now I'm not working with an agent, but he is on me all the time. And a couple other people are, man, you got to have an agent. You got to have an agent. And really what an agent does is they just submit for you for whatever territory they're your agent for. So I'm able to run the restaurant 8 in the morning to 8 at night. And instead of me talking with directors or sending in headshots and reels and things, they're doing it for you. So if you're going to do it serious and more full time than I am right now, you definitely want an agent. But no, I spend more time with my culinary agent. Who does the auditions for Chopped and all that good stuff for Fox and Food Network. Yeah. And anytime you're promoting a recipe or whatever, you need to make sure that it's all good. So no, I spend more time with a culinary agent than I do a film agent these days. But maybe after this movie and the Academy commercial, maybe that'll change.
Yeah. Well, if you ever need an extra, bring me in. And then that'll be my start. I won't make smoked bologna, though. I'll make something else.
I got a face for radio.
I got a face. Yep, face for radio. There you go, Brad.
My sports broadcast. Well, actually, my bachelor's degree is broadcast communication, so radio was a big part. Unfortunately, it didn't pay well. And when you're the new guy, you're the one they call at 2 a.m. when there's a thunderstorm coming, and they say, "Hey, get up there and do live check-ins for the weather."
Yep. Yeah. Oh, that's great. So married, kids?
Yes. Been married. February 14th was 12 years.
Congratulations.
14, like I mentioned earlier, 14-year-old stepson and a 7-year-old daughter named Tennessee, who is growing up way too fast and is more like her mama than her mama will admit.
Yeah. Do they do like Kids Q? Do you get them involved with that type of stuff at all, or?
I'm sure that is on our plate here pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Me and Scotty, we're going to get Braylon, my stepson, involved a couple years ago, but he wanted to jump the gun on everything. There was a pork chop competition, and he's ready to throw it on the grill, and we're like, hey, we hadn't even lit the fire yet. So a little bit more of a maturing process, but he's just about there. That new cooker, we were open at the restaurant last night. It's at my house, so he was kind of tending it. We had some ribs and chicken on, so he's getting there. I'll tell you this, he can clean a smoker with the best of them. So he's working his way up to actually putting meat on.
Ground level.
You gotta know how to clean it before you can cook with it.
Yeah, and it's the same way in the restaurant industry. You hire a cook fresh out of culinary school, and they're ready to put out a 5-star French dish and don't know what it is to change out into a boil out on a fryer yet. You're like, hold on, let's pump the brakes here. And Anthony Bourdain said it best. He said, I get these culinary graduates and they're ready to impress me with a dish, but I can teach my Mexican dishwasher how to cook and he'll make a 10 times better chef than they will. And that's how you judge it in the restaurant business. And I think even in competition barbecue, the guy that's willing to come in and clean up or set up tents, they're the ones that, one day they'll be kicking your butt at calls, and you're sitting here going, man, I wish I would have held on to them a little bit longer as a help.
Yeah, they're the ones helping, but they're the ones also listening.
Yeah.
So yeah,
kind of like you and Rob, Brian.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, tell Rob to start listening more. Oh, geez. So you're big with the church and the community. You guys, what do you guys do with the church for the community? You guys go around, do like Meals on Wheels or any kind of give back like that or anything?
Right before COVID started, I had actually started Relentless Ministries as the name of my ministry. And that comes from the first message that God ever gave me, which is sports based. It goes back to sports again, but if we can, it pretty much just talks about if we can go out to the ball field on Friday night and break our necks cheering for little Johnny, we should be able to do the same on Sunday morning.
Yep.
For God. But I started something called the 4-4 outreach. Of course, Matthew 4:4 says that man doesn't live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds from the mouth of God. So it was just laid on my heart to go out to the folks that couldn't get out to church anymore, our shut-ins, our elderly community, and take them a good meal and sit and get in the Word with them for a little bit. And, of course, when COVID came along, that was a no-no. We couldn't do that anymore. But that is something that I have a youth group here at Burnside Baptist Church that is dying. I wouldn't say dying, but they love getting out into the community and they love cooking. So that's something that we're going to start up here after they start back in school in August, maybe once a month, and then maybe hopefully go to every other weekend. But it's getting out into our less fortunate and especially our elder community that can't get out and go be in the house of God themselves and take them something good to eat, something that these kids have prepared. And that's really what I try to do with this youth group is, all right, here's the cookers, here's the ingredients, y'all have at it. And they're good at that. So that is something I want to start doing with them. But here in Neshoba County, we come together twice a year for something called Love Out Loud. All the churches come together and go out and serve the community together. So 2 weeks ago, we washed cars and did drive-through prayer. My youth group did. But no, getting out into the community is heavy on my heart as a youth pastor. We have to be the hands and feet of Jesus and not just somebody occupying a spot on a pew. But it's a way, and I tell our pastor this, when we eat every Wednesday night and most of the time after every Sunday service here at our church. When God called me to preach in 2018, I promised him every talent I had, and cooking just happens to be one of those talents. So anytime I can fire up a smoker or turn on a Blackstone and do burgers or something as part of the ministry, I'm all about it. And especially bringing the youth group in and my kids. So yeah, that is something that we're planning coming up here pretty soon, is getting back out into the community and getting the 4-4 outreach started again.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, because I know, like, through your social media, you do a lot of posting, like doing stuff with your church and the community and all that. So, I mean, if anyone's out there wanting to follow you, look up Joe Cumberland for sure, man. It's amazing just following and seeing what you guys do. And between the barbecue, and then you have your church post, but then the whole other side of you is like, hey, I got this sheriff spot in a movie.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, what?
Yeah, sometimes it seems like and I don't. I keep myself busy, and I keep myself busy these days because I know my testimony, so I need to stay busy. But yeah, Joe Cumberland on Facebook, Carnivore Preacher on TikTok, Instagram, and all that stuff. Because I have been carnivore for 4 months, so when you're a pit master, it's a little bit easier to be carnivore, because you can do a brisket or something and eat for 4 or 5 days and not have to worry about meal prep or anything. So I think being a pit master has certainly made the transition to carnivore easier for me.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. So speaking of carnivore, do you eat vegetables?
I have been the last 3 or 4 weeks adding a few things back in. Like today, I had some cream corn. But for 4 solid months, I was strict meat, eggs, and seafood, which didn't bother me because that's what I like to eat anyway. But
I made that guy Liver King who like just ate raw meat, and that's all he supposedly ate to get big and muscular, but it wasn't. It was steroids, but still.
Yeah. No, I was a diabetic. 3 months into the carnivore diet, I came off all my diabetic medication, and my numbers were where the doctor said he couldn't consider me a diabetic anymore. So that was my reasoning, which I did lose 35 pounds in the process. But coming off that diabetic medication was, and you're talking competition barbecue and brown sugar and hot honey and all that good stuff that makes competition barbecue what it is. It's tough to do as a diabetic.
No, I'm right there with you. I lost 40 pounds pre-diabetic. I still consider myself pre-diabetic because, like you would know and understand, you still have to watch the sugar intake at times.
Yeah, and it will creep up. Thankfully now, when I was first diagnosed with diabetes, there really wasn't a low sugar or sugar-free barbecue sauce on the market. And I tried to get one, and I just couldn't get the flavor there. Thankfully now there's a couple out there that are pretty darn good. But I still, man, Scotty Chun's Picking and Grilling, that original barbecue sauce, I could drink it. 13 grams of sugar per serving. I can tell you without looking at the label. But that's a cheat day. That's a cheat day thing. We're going to have some ribs tomorrow, and I won't have Picking and Grilling on it tomorrow. I'm going to stick with the sugar-free. It won't be a cheat day tomorrow. But, yeah, man, and y'all know as well as I do, in barbecue, that sugar will sneak up on you quick.
It does. It's like my wife goes, because we try to eat a lot healthier. I mean, despite that, and then with some issues she has, I'm like, hey, for my birthday, I want ice cream. I want an ice cream cake. I want pizza, and I'm going to smoke some burn-ins. And it's like, oh, man, checking that blood sugar for like the next 3 days was just, it was stupid. Like, I should have known not to check.
Yeah, it gets tough, but that's not so much now, but I would schedule it around. If I was having something coming off the smoker one day, I made sure that the kids didn't have anything sweet around, because that was the last thing I needed to do was eat a half a rack of ribs and pulled pork and then find a big bowl of banana pudding somewhere.
Yep. No, that's exactly. That's why when we do something like that, we do it. It's that day, and then it's like back onto salads and just eating. Or like we got a new cookbook called Fiber Fueled. So it's no sugar, but it's taking the sugars from the vegetables and from the fruits, but it's creating high fiber meals, which if you're diabetic, you need the fiber meals because you need it to help break down and get all the sugars out of your system. So yeah, trust me, there's some food in there that I don't eat, and I'm trying to force it down.
That was one thing I found on carnivore about a month in. Things that I normally didn't eat is what I was craving. Like for a blue plate one Thursday, we had turnip greens and cornbread, and I've never really been a big turnip green guy in my life, but I would have just about choked somebody out for a big bowl of them turnip greens that day.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, chef, you need that. That's leafy greens. That's good for you." I was like, "No, I'm sticking to this carnivore. No turnip greens." So then when I after 4 months and I finally did cheat, I got them turnip greens. And they were every bit as good as they would have been 3 months prior.
Yeah.
But no, that was the thing. I had a really bad sweet tooth, and probably 3 weeks into carnivore, it was just about gone.
Yeah.
But I did start cheating a little bit around probably Memorial Day. And I found when I went cold turkey carnivore, it was pretty easy to give up the sweets. But when I started cheating just a little, it was like constantly on my mind, like, man, I gotta find something. And little Debbie, God bless her, she keeps coming out with this new stuff when I'm trying to stay away from it.
Right.
So
ice cream. It's like, whoa, wait a minute.
She keeps doing different things with these Nutty Buddies, and when you're a chocolate peanut butter guy, you're sitting there going, "Come on now, let's cut it out."
Yeah.
The problem is when you eat too many Little Debbies, you're not little anymore.
No.
No. So carnivore is just straight up meat, right? No potatoes, no vegetables, no nothing. It's like you eat a pound of hamburger for dinner or something like that.
Yeah, carnivore. Strict carnivore is considered meat, eggs, and seafood.
Okay.
Then there's one above it, the Lion diet, which is nothing but pretty much beef. Pretty much what a lion would eat. Then there's dirty carnivore, where you may have Greek yogurt or a little bit more cheese than you would have with the regular carnivore, and avocados and things like that. And that's kind of where I'm at right now after 4 months of strict carnivore. I'm really at more of almost a ketovore, because I will have some low carb fruit or greens or something every now and then, but I really need to get back to the strict for a little while, because my energy levels were through the roof then, and now they're kind of some days up, some days down. But yeah, carnivore for the most part, you're gonna eat a lot of eggs, really a lot of fatty meat. So the hamburger meat, any fatty cut of steak. So I do a lot of ribeye. I enjoy sirloin, so it's easy for me to cook 3 pounds of sirloin at the end of the week and have it prepped up for lunch at the restaurant or whatever during the week. But yeah, a lot of eggs. And then some people do heavy cream and cheese, but I found that I didn't get the results I wanted adding them. So I took them out. And even now that I'm dirty carnivore, I really hadn't added much cheese or dairy at all back into my diet.
Yeah, I love a good ribeye, and I save those. Those are my cheat days whenever I'm on a plane. It's like, okay, I'm going to have me like a small 4 tablespoon thing of ice cream, but I'm going to have me this fat ribeye, and that's my cheat. Because one, the price, and 2, I'd eat that every day if I could. So I make that like my motive to keep pushing and get to it.
Yeah, I guess that's why carnivore was so easy for me, because if you could eat a ribeye a day, that's really what they want you doing. So I had no problem doing it. And then people will say, man, ribeye is pretty expensive. Well, luckily I'm a chef and I get it at food service prices. So it was a whole lot easier for me to do it when I can get a whole ribeye super high quality Iowa premium whole slab for about what somebody would pay for a cheap select in a supermarket. It was a no-brainer for me to do that and slice it myself. And then one of my kids will eat some ribeye. My wife, she's the opposite. She's trying to get healthier, but she's a carbivore. Bread, pasta, pizza. Yeah. That's what she does. So no, it was pretty easy for me because I could eat ribeye every day or some type of steak every day. So that's what I did. And now I'm in the gym more, so I'm trying to get more chicken and lean protein, but it just, man, chicken doesn't fuel you like a big fatty ribeye does.
Yeah. No, I just did 12 boneless, skinless chicken thighs Friday, and we have 4 left, and it's just been us eating them. It's crazy. I think Brad is playing around. For all of you that are listening on the podcast and not watching on YouTube, Brad's trying to do a virtual background. So it looks like he's frozen on one screen, and in the green room backstage, he has it up again. And there he is.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you, Brad, but we can't see you.
My Wi-Fi went out, and I had to re-log in, and then it made me twice.
So that's what it is, folks. It's not him playing. It was his Wi-Fi.
Yes.
Well, do what they do and plug 2 potatoes together like old school, how you get that electricity.
The hamsters died on the wheel that runs my Wi-Fi. I'm in the middle of the business.
Nice. So, Joe, where are you at right now? Where's your location? Are you at the church still from the VBS, or are you on your property at home?
No, they were watching King of Kings to wrap up tonight, and I stepped out before they ended. They have all come out and made their way back to their homes, and I'm still here out at our church, which is amazing that I have 5G out in the middle of nowhere across the tracks, as they say. Literally, there's a train that will probably be passing through in about an hour. So
nice. Yeah, King of Kings. That's an Angels studio movie, isn't it?
Yeah, Angel Studio, which the movie I mentioned earlier, Losing Hope, Finding Grace, there's a very good chance that it's one of the movies that Guild members will be voting on pretty soon. So anybody that has Angel Studios, if you see that movie come up, please vote for it, because we'd love to have it there. They're putting out some quality stuff. The Last Rodeo, I went and seen in theaters, one of my favorite movies of all time. Homestead was another good one. They're turning out some really family friendly Christian stuff over there, and it's, man, Vindication. I started watching it a couple months ago, and literally I was dragging into the restaurant because I could not turn it off.
Yeah,
I'd watch an episode and I'd say, all right, one more, and then I'm falling asleep, and then I'd have to finish the entire season. So yeah, my wife was waking up at 2 a.m. for about a week straight going, "You're still up?" Like, I can't turn it off. It was that good.
I think it was the 3rd season of Chosen. Angels just took off as a studio company after the 3rd season of Chosen.
I want to watch that one.
It's good. Chosen's definitely a good show to watch. Where they got 5 seasons of that? Maybe 6? 5?
I think it was season 5 where they did the Easter story this spring, because it was in theaters at the same time as the other movie of the same name and kind of the same story. I'm pretty sure I saw that was season 5.
Yeah, it's a good one, Brad. You should check it out. I mean, even if you don't have Angel right now, and Google them, and then your Facebook feed will start showing you advertisements by them, because you know how everything listens to us now. NSA.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, they had a Mother's Day sale. They had St. Patrick's Day sales. I mean, Angels is great. Even if you're paying the $10 a month for it, whatever. I mean, get on it for the $4 a month for the first 6 months. I mean, it's definitely got some good family-friendly shows out there for kids to watch. I mean, the crap that our regular channels are putting out now, it's just the brainwashing for our kids that they're doing. So yeah, we got Angel Studios, we got the Guild, and I'll be voting. I'll guarantee you that.
Yeah, hopefully. Let's see. About a month ago, we got word that it was likely going there. There's still a couple film festivals that has to go through before it can go to a distributor, but right now, if I had to call it, I would say Angel's probably the front runner, and that's kind of, if I don't have a say, but if I had a say, that would be where I push Danny Todd and Ryan Henner, the owners of Ryan Media, who own that film, to place it, because man, it's a terrific platform. That's what I encourage my kids to watch, but my daughter especially likes the YouTube. And we ran our dance videos through my YouTube this week at VBS, and I told them every night. Now, Tennessee's been at home watching YouTube all day, so if there's something weird in the search bar, it's from her, not me.
Gummy ice cream.
I'm sure that was probably on there. Today we found the trolley gummy worm popsicles, and they were just, that texture was so weird to me.
Yeah, that is crazy. So let's get back into some barbecue cooking here. What you did Memphis in May with Scotty Chun. You guys won that. Was that whole hog you won?
Yeah, whole hog, sixth in the world. I think that was 22, and this year he and Jeffrey Burke got fifth in the world. So he's still on a roll when it comes to whole hog at Memphis in May. Somebody asked me just 2 or 3 weeks ago, they said, is Scotty really that good? And I said, the man is an absolute magician when it comes to whole hog. Yes, he is. Yeah. He is that good. And they said, but you're an executive chef. You don't think you could compete with him in barbecue? I said, no, I competed against him long enough to know that I don't hold a candle to him. So I like being more on his side than going against him.
Yeah. Have you done any other major ones like that, or do you have any comps like that size that you wish you could hit up?
Really, the only one that I've never done that's still on my list, and that's why I'm kind of really hoping Scotty goes, is the Big Pig Jig out there and do Myron's. All the other ones I've except the Royal. I've never been to the Royal, but I've either been to them or cooked in all the rest of them. So really, the Big Pig Jig's really kind of the only one left on my bucket list.
That's cool. Yeah. There's some down in Florida that are just small comps I want to do. I mean, being KC wise, we always do the Royal here, but yeah, I'm hoping one day get over to Memphis in May and check it out. We got my family's in Houston, so I've been down to the Houston Rodeo and barbecue comp a couple times. So yeah, there's some other ones around that I want to hit up, but mostly I like a lot of these tiny ones that people don't know of, but you find out that they were great. So like what's the one, Josh Hess, a guy up here, he went down to Florida.
Jimmy Jam down in Florida. I'm like, that just looks so fun. And he's like, I'm gonna go, and he walked away winning like everything. And I'm like, well, that'd be cool to do that too, but I just want to go. It looks so fun, especially in the winter time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of the stuff, which I've got a brother in Gulfport, so it would be more incentive to go see him. But like Smoking the Coast, when you look out on the Gulf Coast is literally 15 feet from you while you're checking whatever's on the smoker. There's something about that
yeah.
You know, whether you get a first place call or whether you're dead last, you still won.
Yeah.
Now of course you're out several $100s, and that sucks, but that's kind of how, you know, the Shed, Brad and Brooke, they have a big SCA competition every year. And it draws a lot of the big names and a lot of the celebrity chefs. So that one I really looked forward to for a couple of years. But now, you know, that my kids are old enough to go, it was kind of it was kind of a circus. I mean, I'm kind of like you. Some of the smaller ones where you can really just relax more and spend time with your family and fellowship with, the competitors close to you, rather so much than, Guy Fieri may be 600 yards over here, so let's leave the ribs on the smoker when it's really time to check them and go stand in line to try to meet him. That gets to be a headache a lot. And when you're a super small team, like when I go out on my own, that's how I am. It's me and my wife and our kids. I don't really take anybody else with us. And my wife will be the first one to tell you, don't leave me in charge. Which is a funny story because our first place call in Pork, I did have an emergency and had to leave her in charge for a little bit. And we ended up getting our first ever first place in Pork. And I said, it was because of you. And she can't boil water, so she'll see this and hate that I told that. But no, to this day, as a matter of fact, there's something I do with that butt that she did by accident. So
yeah,
sometimes there's happy accidents.
Yeah, it's you left me unsupervised, and this is what happens. Yeah, it's funny. I was walking through Home Depot today getting some stuff for my shower that I'm finishing up a remodel on. And this wife, I'm literally standing in the hardware section looking at like towel holders, all that stupid stuff. She walks up and drops 2 full armfuls in the cart. And the husband looks at her. She's just like that. You left me unattended. It just cracks me up because it's like, well, I get it. Great stuff can come out of it. No, we lost Brad again.
I suppose he is having some issues, which I like. Like I said again, I cannot believe that I'm not having those out here.
Yeah.
But
so you're Middle Tennessee, or I'm Middle Mississippi. Sorry, Tennessee's on my mind. You went up to Nashville for that stuff. Where at in let's see, Middle Jackson would be south of you.
Yeah, Jackson is a little bit southwest of us.
Okay, so some of the boys there, like Ken North and Kevin Moa, some of those guys?
Yeah, Kevin actually went up the year Picking and Grilling was 6th in the world. Kevin went up and was a part of the team that year.
Oh, nice.
Him and Chris Smith. So, yeah, it's kind of a small community here in central Mississippi. Jonathan Huddleston and all those guys over at Grills of Mississippi. So yeah, we all pretty much know one another.
Okay. Yeah. Jonathan, Tracy, that bunch. Yeah. Good guys. Good bunch of guys.
Yeah, that's that's for the most part. It's like church. You have your bad apples, but for the most part, the barbecue community here in this area is all pretty much good guys and gals that you would want to hang out with outside of barbecue. I have been very fortunate to never, best I can recall, met anyone that I wouldn't hang out with outside of a competition.
I think that's actually a little everywhere. I mean, yeah, we're going to have the bad apples, out of some of the teams, but almost every competition you go to, if you just walk around, I'm going to say 99% of them, 98% of them, those teams are just going to sit there, shake your hand, talk to you. They're there to do the same thing, have a great time, burn some meat in the parking lot, and turn it over to 6 judges who we don't know.
Yeah, I was, let's see, let me do the math in my head. 13. So I was probably 25 or 26 when I decided I wanted to get into competition. And Heath Riles was still with Victory Lane at the time. I had no idea who he was, had no idea they were the best team in the world at the time. But I didn't know if I should cook St. Louis or baby backs at a particular competition, the first one I was ever getting in. So just sent him a message on a whim, him and a couple other guys, and like within 5 minutes, this is a Memphis, so you definitely need to do baby backs. And then that day, super, super nervous. Everybody when I got there, I realized, man, everybody was willing to answer questions as long as you didn't ask them their secrets.
Yeah.
Everybody was willing to answer questions. So that, again, when people ask about the ribs, yeah, I ate a lot of bad ones, but also had a whole lot of people willing to give tips and pointers. And that's why, whether it's barbecue or something in the restaurant industry now, I'm 98% an open book. I'm going to tell you anything I can, because that was the favor shown to me when I was getting into it and coming up. There was always somebody willing to say, hey, I saw you doing this. This is how you need to do it. So, man, I'm very thankful and very blessed to have guys like Scotty Chun and Heath, who were more than happy to tell me what I needed to know to get better. And I try to pass it down as best I can now.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. I mean, as long as it's not that one secret ingredient, whatever, but I'll give them everything. You're going to have to cook it anyways. It doesn't bother me any.
Yeah.
So, but my thing, I'm a rib. I love ribs. I mean, I don't know. I love ribs.
It's like a good barbecue sauce. Can you tell me what's in that sauce? I will tell you every ingredient that's in it, but I'm not giving you measurements.
Yeah.
And I can tell you everything that's in it, and you're never gonna replicate that sauce. Unless you've been in a professional kitchen like me for about 15 years and you just decide to try it 100 times till you get it pretty close. But yeah, everything but that one little secret. My pulled pork is pretty popular around here. Folks will call and want pans of it. We've got the world famous Neshoba County Fair coming up, and I'll probably do 50 or 60 pans for it. And then I tell people how super simple it is, and they go, but when I do it, it doesn't come out quite like yours. Well, yeah, there's one little thing I don't tell you, but pretty much if you're using that picking and grilling all-purpose rub and pecan wood, you're getting pretty close.
Yeah. So what's the ribs down in Mississippi? Is it baby backs as the main, or is it St. Louis style?
Now, if we're gonna sit and eat ribs, we're 90% of the people are probably going to go St. Louis, for the flavor and the meatiness. But there's more MBN stuff around here competition wise than KCBS. So competition wise, we lean heavy on the baby backs. But if we're going to sit down and chow down on ribs with the family, most people are doing St. Louis.
Is it like a?
Go ahead, Brad.
Is it like a sweet flavor profile, a savory one, a mixture of the two? Like what usually does well down there?
Really sweet heat. And I tell people all the time, I think Mississippi is kind of where sweet heat probably came from, and that's still probably the biggest profile down here. Sweet on the front end with a little bit of heat on the back. And I know as far as my Bulldog BBQ customers, that's what they're looking for. Yeah. So I have stayed pretty true to that. But yeah, we try to have I say really it's a balance between Memphis and Kansas City as far as the style, but there's always that little extra heat put on the back end here. And then really most folks, somebody will probably correct me after they watch this, but we're really big on pecan. We want pecan to be the forefront of what we're using in that smoker.
Yeah. Between the rub and the wood flavor.
Yes.
Yeah. Nice.
But yeah, sweet heat is really what goes well around here. And that heat cannot be too prevalent. It has to be just right. And to me, that's what separates a good pit master in this area from the others, is the ones that can draw you in with that candy-like sweetness at the front. And then you go, whoa, there's a little something there. Because we've all had those bites that are just, it's no different than putting a piece of bubble gum in your mouth almost. But yeah, definitely sweet heat. And then as far as beef, I'm sure I know we did. We copied Texas, but we're salt, pepper, maybe a dash of garlic.
Nice. Yeah. Well, we're about out of time. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to?
No, man, just the barbecue community in general. My Facebook got hacked February of 24, and I have not put the time into building it back. So I was actually out of the Addicted to the Q group for quite some time, just trying to get everything back. But no, man, just good to see that the group is still going and active and everything. And that top secret dust, I'm telling you, if y'all have never had Brian's top secret dust sprinkled on your ribs after you saw someone, they come out of the smoker, you're missing out. It is phenomenal. Several of his rubs are, but no, man, just good to see, like, man, your guests last week that have been doing the backyard thing, that there are still folks getting hooked on this thing out there. There's a lot of Saturdays I'm in the restaurant thinking about being at a competition. So I'm just glad to see that it's still going just as strong as ever. And that the community is growing. Cause that's what we've always wanted, was a huge community of good folks to come up and, knock some of us that have been doing it a while out of the way and make their own name. And that's what I'm glad to see. And it's what gets me fired up when I get on the Addicted to the Q Facebook page. And man, I'm telling you, 4 or 5 years ago, there were some good pictures. Now you scroll through there and every single one of them looks like they're knocking it out of the park. So it's probably a good thing I hadn't posted pictures in a while.
Yeah. No, it's growing. It's doing good. Brad and I have had, some talks outside of our group and everything. We're wanting to jump in. So if anyone listening, if your kid or you know of a kid that does Kids Q, I mean, that's our future. Those are the ones that are going to be whooping our butts at competitions. We want to get them on, them and their parents, and just talk about their journey. You know, that's like you said, that's the future of the whole sport. So yeah, I mean, I might not be cooking competitions in 15 years. They might be walking the stage at every competition, but this is where they start. The high school, Kids Q. My 7-year-old did her first Kids Q. So, yeah, I mean, if anyone knows of anybody, give us a shout out. Let us know. Email us, something like that.
Yep.
So, Joe, you got any social media you want to pimp out?
Yeah, it's Joe Cumberland on Facebook, The Carnivore Preacher, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, which I forget about YouTube. There's really nothing there. Forget about that one. But yeah, mostly lately it has been carnivore related stuff as far as tips and tricks on that diet. But like I mentioned earlier, we've got that new commercial pellet smoker that we're going to be playing with a lot. So there'll be a lot of videos and things on there. But yeah, like you just mentioned, getting my kids involved and getting them in front of the camera some. Maybe with the bologna, because everybody is tired of seeing my picture behind a chub of bologna. But folks in Central Mississippi keep me busy with smoked bologna, so maybe it's time for the 14-year-old to take that business. But no, yeah, barbecue, carnivore. Talking about Jesus, it's all there. There's something for everybody on the Carnivore Preacher channel.
Nice. Well, Joe, I want to say thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Get your 14-year-old cooking. Put him on our show.
Yep.
It's kind of like football. We're gonna start him at the house, and if the grades are improved this year, maybe this fall he'll be competing somewhere. But school comes first before the extracurricular stuff.
Well, first things first, give him a 5-gallon bucket and tell him, hey, I need 5 gallons of smoked pecan in here, and just see what he does. He's a good kid, and he's gonna make a heck of a cook when he can reel it in and focus on a cook.
he's still a kid right now, and he thinks about that PlayStation and other things. But when he can reel it in, and I've got a couple in my youth group, they're that same way. When they can stick to a timeline, they're going to be tough to deal with.
Oh yeah. I mean, they sound like me right now. I still have problems. I'll walk off sometimes, and Rob's like, "Hey, never mind. I'll turn the meat. No, never mind."
That happened at Memphis in May. I was new to it, and I didn't realize how important of a stretch we were in. And Al Fergoni was doing a live demonstration right down from our setup. So I wandered over maybe for a few minutes and watched the setup. Scotty goes, "Where the heck have you been?" And I was like, "I was watching Al Fergoni over here."
Yeah. I don't have ADD, but I do have ADD.
Mm-hmm.
But man, I appreciate y'all having me on.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
I really enjoyed it, and I wear one of the older Addicted to the Q shirts on Thursday nights a lot at the restaurant, and people see the skull and the flames, and they say, "Man, what is that? Is that a demon back there?" And I have to break it. No, I said, "You see all of this. Obviously, it's for smoking." And then I get so many comments on the Sofa King Awesome Barbecue.
I got let me where's my guy at? I've got have you seen? I'll message it to you. I'll post it again. I've got a new apparel line coming out that's got some new sayings and stuff. One of them's YouTube certified barbecue pitmaster.
I think I saw that one.
Yeah. I'm like, that's just, to me, it's like, it's just funny because I was talking to one of my renters today, and I'm curious. I ask a lot of questions. I'm like, how'd you know to build this stuff? Because I'm not an electronic guy or anything. And I Googled it. I'm like, perfect. I got a YouTube barbecue shirt you need. I'm going to get him one just so he can wear it because to me, it's an inside joke, but still, it's funny.
That has bled into the restaurant business with TikTok chefs almost weekly, if not once a week, at least once every other week. Somebody will come to me with a recipe. Chef so and so on TikTok did this. Can you do it? And I look at the recipe and I goes, "That won't work." They're like, "How do you know?" I don't know. Maybe it's because I went to Le Cordon Bleu and I know that this won't work. Yeah, but there are chefs that no, they're not. Just because they call their self chef on TikTok doesn't mean they're a chef. And we're certainly seeing that. There's a guy here in town, Matthew Callahan. I'm trying to think of it. Matt's Food Adventures maybe is the name of his channel. But he's kind of making fun of those people. So he'll do videos like the best steak in Mississippi. And he'll take the cheapest ribeye he can find at Walmart and put some salt on it and microwave it for 45 seconds and say, "That's it. That's all you got to do." And the comments are ridiculous. I'm like, y'all do realize he's just making fun of all these people who think they're doing something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good stuff, man.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. There's some stupid stuff out there, but it's funny to me. So I was like, yeah, I got to do the YouTube shirt for everybody, whoever wants one now. Just to have an inside joke for me, but now it's going to be someone else's inside joke.
Yep.
So, well, Joe, I want to say thank you so much, man. We'll have to do this again sometime. It was fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, man. Y'all be good up there in the Midwest and keep producing that amazing cattle that keeps folks coming in the restaurant after that Iowa premium beef, because there's none like it if it don't come from up there in y'all's part of the country. So
yep. No, we appreciate it, man. Well, you have a good one.
Thank you. Yep.
Y'all be good, man. We'll talk to y'all later.
Thank you.